Today I'm finally going to do a video that I've been trying to film for legitly about 2 months now.
Just run away from being right.
Every time I went to film it, my camera wouldn't take, it wouldn't save, I couldn't get it on my computer, or the file was fucked up when I tried to edit it. So now, pray this is going to take, because here is the long-awaited plug collection video. I have been trying to do this for so fucking long, but now here we go. Pre-thing, I've been stretching since I was about 12 years old. That's when I very first started stretching my ears, but back then I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that my friends were doing it and they were teaching me, so everything they did I was doing. I stretched to a 14 not by taper, but by taking a 14 gauge horseshoe, you know, like somebody would put in their lip or their cartilage or something, that kind of jewelry, and she just popped it through my ear. She just forced it, and that's terrible. That will cause tearing. That is just probably the worst thing you could possibly do. That's like dead stretching, but for somebody who's never stretched their ears before, no lube, no nothing, it's just it kills me to think what I've probably done to my ears since then. The next thing I did was I skipped up sizes. She told me that I was only skipping a 12 to a 10, but she tried to force these little pinchers, and I remember them very clearly. They were blue and green, and they look like now what a 2 gauge looks like. And she got one in and it got stuck, and then she got the other one partially in and it was just sitting there stuck in my ear, and she didn't use lube or anything. She just popped it in, so I went from a 14 to a 2 in one go, and it was so awful, and they were stuck in my ears, and I was sitting there crying after school, playing with it, pulling, tugging at it, trying to get it out of my ear because that's how tight my earlobe was around it. So after that, I took them out, let them stretch back, or let them go back down. I started stretching my ears again in this 8th grade. I was in a uniform school, so I couldn't go up that much. I ended up going up, I think that's when I went to a 2 gauge, and I stayed at a 2 gauge for years. So that's the only reason I actually bought pretty jewelry, because otherwise I would have just worn the tapers and plugs that came with the packs that I bought. I was also still wearing tapers at the time as jewelry. I didn't stop doing that until I hit a 0 gauge, because that's when it really honestly starts to look incredibly stupid. Because of how big the tapers are, it just starts to look dumb. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. And then I tried to let it stretch back down after that, but my ears never went back down. I was wearing these heavy hoop earrings and it just stayed open at a 2 gauge. Actually, one was at a 2 and one was at a 4, but it stayed open at that size for good. Like, it was not going down at all. So eventually, after having saggy ear holes, I finally went ahead and bought another kit, and I stretched my ears up again. And this time I went up slowly. I was at a 2 gauge, then a 0, then a double 0. I didn't skip any sizes, and I have been at a double 0 since May, and it is currently September. So soon I'm gonna stretch up to a 1/2 inch. I'm skipping 7/16 because there's a 1 millimeter difference between double 0 and 7/16 when I can really go up to a 2 millimeter jump like a normal stretch would. So I mean, I'm not one for skipping sizes, but I think that 7/16 is one of those like optional sizes. Plus my kit doesn't come with a 7/16 taper, and I honestly think that's why, because I don't know a lot of people that actually go to 7/16. I've seen a lot of people go straight to 1/2 inch. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Okay, so here is what I keep all of my body jewelry in. I've recently put everything in here. I mainly keep all my plugs down here, and up here is where I'm gonna start keeping, right now I just have a body jewelry bag. I'm about to get in a new set of tapers that go from double 0 all the way to 7/8, and that's what I'm gonna keep in that top and middle part, is the tapers and the plugs that it comes with, because I bought a giant kit. So going down into this middle, or this bottom drawer, I have a shit ton of bags full of nothing but just old tapers that I don't use. I'm gonna go smallest to largest, so this is gonna take some digging. little baby 14 gauge tapers and plugs. I don't think I ever used those because my ears never went down that small. This was after I had already stretched my ears. I think I was at a 2 gauge, so I really only needed the 0 and 00 because my ears never shrunk back down from being a 2. Same thing with these 12s. The rest of this kit, I ended up giving away most of them, other than the ones I needed. The 10s I just gave away to my girlfriend's sister. 8 gauge tapers and plugs I'm probably going to give to her too because I'm never going to need them again. 0 gauge, 2 different tapers, and 1 plug. I used the shit out of the 0 gauge and I ended up losing them, and then I have my 00 glow in the dark tapers that I used to get up to the size. I'm at a 00 now, so this is where you're going to see most of my plugs. 2 gauge, also 2 different tapers, and 1 plug. This is everything else that I have for a 2 gauge. I was at a 2 gauge for the longest, so before the 00. I also have a lot in 00, so in the 2 gauge I have these colorful spirals that look like they have little shell pieces in them, and they're rainbow. 1 really glittery pincher. I ended up losing the other one, but it just looks like that. It's really shiny. It reminds me of Tinkerbell. These tapers that are just leopard print. Back when I still wore tapers for jewelry, that's the only reason I bought them, because I already had these tapers which glow in the dark, which I got in a kit that went from 14 gauge to 00. And I have 1 of those plugs which has tape on it because I tried to tape up. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. I wasn't even using the right kind of tape, and it was such a slow process. It bothered the living shit out of me. So I just went ahead and forced in my 0 gauge taper, which I know is terrible, but now we're gonna get into all of my 00 plugs, and there is a lot. Let me know if anybody wants these. I can do a giveaway because I've barely worn any of these, and I'm about to go up, and it makes me really sad that all I'm gonna have is the plain plugs for a while until I decide where I'm gonna stop out with my ears. But as of right now, I have absolutely no use for any of my 00 plugs. First thing I have is a little baggie full of O-rings. I have about 12 different colors of the squishy plugs, and these were, or the squishy tunnels, these were what I was using really the most. These are the most comfortable. They're great to sleep in. They're amazing. I absolutely love these. 1 second, I just found, it looks like an 8 and a 6 gauge taper. I have 2 of one and then 1 of the other. Those are really, really old. Those are from the old packs. This one that I see are one of my favorites. They're these. They're very glittery, sparkly plugs. I absolutely love these. They're kind of flat. These rose plugs. All of my plugs, if I don't mention otherwise, I probably got all of them off of eBay. That's even where I got my kits from, was eBay. These are probably my favorite ones. These tunnels that are little dream catchers, and they're green. They were supposed to be more blue. They're like this multicolor. They're supposed to be more blue, but they're more green. So that's why I really didn't wear them that much, but I still absolutely love them. And this is my other favorite pair. They're like these gem crystal in these tunnels. These are supposed to be screw back, but I'm able to put these in as double flared, and you see how big that flare is. That's how you know my ears are ready to go up in size. Screw back Batman acrylics. I love these too. These heart cutout tunnels. Floral tunnels. Double flared wood. A single black steel tunnel. I lost the other one while I was moving. All of my shit fell out on the sidewalk from my bags. double flare plugs with a little Batman symbol. I don't know if you could see it that well. There you go, a little Batman symbol in the middle. And then these ones, which, yeah, they're screw-offs, but you can also put them in as double flared. These, which have little anchors in them. These little ones with the Batman cut out, double flared, like this hollow kind of wood. And finally, these no flared, just plain glow in the dark tunnels, which I got with my kit. They take the O-rings out of the O-rings are for, but I never wear them. So yeah, and the last thing I have in here is spare change because I had nowhere else to put it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm so glad to finally have filmed this completely. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and leave video requests in the comments. Bye guys!